Hello everyone, quick market update. So Bitcoin is still holding its daily fair value gap here, nothing to worry about at all, just a little bit of patience, and I still am looking forward to the fifth leg up towards 29k here. Well, the first thing to keep an eye on is of course the daily fair value gap, but ultimately the low here at around 26k should not be taken out, and as long as the higher high, higher low structure holds, the next target is 29k. I do think if the market wants to take this next leg up, maybe 1 or 2 more days of sideways boring, maybe some chop, but within this or next week we should get the move up ideally. And the reaction at 29k, either an ABC back towards 27.5 or a breakthrough, we will have to see when the time comes. Let's have a quick look at the stock market. So as expected, we got a little bounce from here. Right now, we rejected at the 50% retracement level of this last leg down. So we already had the ABC, and if you remember, now we are looking for the reaction at the 0.5, but especially within this key retracement zone, because if it rejects here, we may head lower towards 3,800 or so. For now it's struggling at the 50% retracement level. If it does not push through this week, I will get a little more bearish, but for now I'm just monitoring the situation. The Dow, similar bounce, so hasn't reached the 50% retracement level yet. So yeah, basically on the SPX, I'm also looking for either a break through the key retracement zone of the C leg here and then move up further towards the all-time high again, or rejection in the key retracement zone and head for the resting liquidity at around $31,436. The Nasdaq is the strongest of the trio, so the ABC is also completed. The C leg has gone beneath the A leg, and it has since bounced, but the difference between the Nasdaq and the Dow and the S&P 500 is that the Nasdaq is actually able to hold within the key retracement zones, the higher time frame key retracement zone, measured from the all-time high to the bear market low. My chart is not loading. Yeah, here it is. So right now it is still a low here. So if the Nasdaq could push upwards of $15,619, I would expect that the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones also push through their key retracement levels of the C leg, the current key retracement levels, and head back up higher. But if the Nasdaq makes a lower high here at around the 78.6% retracement level, which is $15,417 give or take, then I will also look forward to this move here, where the Nasdaq also tests its 50% retracement level on the higher time frames. ETH has dropped back under $1,626 level, and now we see this pattern play out here. It hasn't quite dipped as low yet. The swing low at 1,530 is not getting rated for now, so we will just have to see if we will get the liquidity rate drop into the bullish order block and then consolidate a little bit before a move back up. Right now there is nothing I would look at. I would not short it at 1,626, nor would I blindly long it as soon as it grabs this liquidity. So I will be looking at the chart structure also on the 4-hour time frame and let you guys know if I see anything. ADA It has retraced around 79% of this last leg up, so definitely an area where I would be interested in some longs right now, because as I said, I think the low on most of these alts is actually in, and we just have the last scare or boredom period before an impulsive wave up. For any longs, if we take this low here as the low, then we do not get a great reward to risk ratio on this, but I would say it's fair to assume that ADA will at least push towards 35 cents, maybe 40 cents if everything starts running. So in that sense, it is a good bet, or at least it's a warranted bet for me. I am already long on ADA. I may add a little bit more at around here, the 24.6 cents area, and then I will just wait for Bitcoin to do its thing. And as long as Bitcoin does not put in a new low, I don't think any of the alts will take out their most recent or most pivotal lows that they have put in the market. APE still in a cruel downtrend. It has hit the 1 cent mark on Monday. So now I'm looking at first of all at the reaction at $1.06, and if it rejects here, I think we will see a little more lower than $1, maybe the 90 cents area, before I then would be interested in seeing a market structure shift and a move back up. But at the moment, just blindly longing APE here at $1 does seem a little risky, even though psychologically, and it's the listing price, I believe, at least on Binance, psychologically we could see a little bounce here, but for a longer term uptrend, I would want to see the market structure shift happen first. AVAX has retraced back under the $9.67, and this shows us how important patience is. Everyone who got super excited here, YOLO, we go to the moon, is probably in the red right now. If they had stop losses set somewhere, good. But yeah, I mean, AVAX, as long as it's under the area I had mentioned here, and if it does not show us or give us confirmation that the move is real, I'm not interested in longing anything. At this moment, I would be looking at the swing low here at around $8.60. And if that gets rated, I would think a drop towards $8 is the most plausible target area for here. I'm not shorting AVAX or anything, because I do believe that Bitcoin is ultimately going to move up, pulling the altcoins or most of the altcoins with it. But AVAX is not in an area where I would look for longs. DOT, did not get back up, and I was saying in the last update, if we see another move up and then 2 or 3 daily candle closes above the $4.22 level, then we could be looking for a long. But DOT has decided to move to the downside, so we can get rid of that, and it's currently under $3.90. So from here, for me to consider any long exposure on DOT, it has to first of all get back above $4.22, then maybe make a nice little fair value gap somewhere on the move up, and then we could look for longs, something like this. Link, it is back in the area of interest I had mentioned and as long as this holds, I think we are on our way to back to $8.80, maybe $9.30. I did add some to my long exposure. And my stop loss for the add-on to my long is at $6.60, and the tentative target remains at $9.30, giving me a good reward to risk in a feasible or warranted entry zone. If this fails, then I will still be looking for longs again down here. But for now, especially when I look at the 4-hour time frame, there's a nice curling up on the RSI, and the momentum indicator is also showing potential upside break here. We need to get above the yellow slingshot area, still above 16 or 15, but right now it looks good. I see a slight positive divergence here, and that's enough for me, together with the expectation for Bitcoin, to go long or add to my long exposure here. LTC, and if you remember from last week's update, I said that it looks very similar to DOT in market structure, but while DOT miserably failed to the downside, LTC is still within its range, so I think this will be continuing for a while, and I'm still ultimately looking for a break above $70, 75 cents, $71, and then 2-3 candle closes maybe, and if I get an entry at that point, I will consider it. Lastly, Solana. Yeah, Solana has reached the 50% retracement level of its last leg up, so I still think some further dip down into the daily fair value gap here and the optimal entry zone, 70.5, maybe 79% retracement is in the books, and I would be interested in some longs if it happens while Bitcoin is holding 27,500, give or take, or if it moves a little bit further down towards 26.5, that's also still okay. And if Solana or any of the other altcoins are in areas which I mentioned are of interest, at that point I will probably take on a little exposure on most of them. That's it for today. Talk again on Friday.